Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing fine. Today we are going to continue from my previous video where I showed how to cut a corset. We are going to be focusing on how to sew the transparent corset, as you can see right here. Very beautiful. If this sounds like something you're interested in, then keep watching. This is the exact corset that I used for my wedding dress. As you can see here, I used an organza fabric for it, and I also went ahead to bead the dress. I used about 3 different beads for this corset. So whenever you sew a transparent corset, it just depends on what you want to use it for. If you want to bead it, or you want to add lace into it, or whatever you want to do, it all depends on you. So today I'm going to be showing you how to go about it. So right here, I've already gone ahead to cut on the fabric. This fabric that I'm using in this video is an organdy fabric, but the one I use, like I said, is an organza. So you open up the fabric that we cut, and this is what it should look like. For the back, this is also what it's supposed to look like. So for the center back, I used a doll face for it, so I didn't use the transparent fabric. So for the front, I'm just going to go ahead to join the 2 pieces of fabric, because I cut double for the front. So I'm joining it at all sides, like all round. Then I'll leave the downside open. And then I've also gone ahead to create my boning channels. This is all dependent on what you want, like how you want the boning channel to appear on your corset. So after you're done creating the boning channels, you're going to go ahead to cut pieces of fabric that you'll be using for the boning. So in order to create the boning, you can fold it like I'm showing you right now in this video, and then you go ahead, take it to the sewing machine, and you sew on both sides like so. So you sew, you can pin it down before sewing so that you can be able to secure it properly while sewing. And then when you are done, this is what it should look like. Since it's an organdy fabric, it's transparent as well, it can be difficult to work with. So just take your time and sew it as neatly as possible. Then for the back, I've also gone ahead to join the 2 pieces for this side back together on all sides like I did in front. And then I'll also go ahead to join the center back to the side back. But before I do that, I'm going to be joining the lining and the main fabric together at that loop point right there. So I'll just sew it using 1/2 inch sewing allowance, turn it to the right side, and iron it properly. You can go ahead to add a hard stay to it before joining it to both sides. Then after you're done with that, you're going to be joining it to this side back using 1/2 inch sewing allowance like I'm showing you right now. So when you join one side, you turn it to the right side, and then after turning it to the right side, this is what it should look like. So on the other side, you're just going to fold it in using 1/2 inch sewing allowance that we left. You just fold it in like so, you pin it down, and then you sew on it very close to the edges, so all the way to the down part. So you're going to do the same thing on the other side of the back as well. So by the time you're done, this is what it should look like. I've also gone ahead to create another boning channel at this side back. And then right now, I've taken this to the market. Since I don't have the machine for this loop, I took it to the market and I asked them to create this loophole for me. They actually created it too close to the center back. I wish they had left like 1/2 inch before adding the loop, but it's all good. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut a piece of fabric, and I'll place my back pattern on it like so, facing the right side to the wrong side. And then after you face the right side, make sure you leave 1/2 inch on that center back point like so. and then you take it to the sewing machine and you sew on it using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So by the time you're done, you're going to be turning it to the right side as I'm showing you now. So before you turn it, you make sure you fold in that 1/2 inch allowance that we left at the center back, and then you fold it further, like double it as I'm showing you. Just fold it by 0.25 inch, and then you fold it again by another 0.25 inch or 0.5 inch, depending on how you want the hemming allowance to be. So I will still repeat the process. I'll fold in the 1/2 inch that I left, and then I'll fold it by 0.25 inch, and I'll fold it again by 0.5 inch, and then I'll pin it down like so. So I'm just going to do it all the way to the other side of the back pattern. I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So by the time I'm done, this is what it should look like. It has a very clean finish, both at the front and at the back of this. That is the lining part of this corset. So I'm going to do the same thing for the front as well. I'll use a piece of fabric. I'll place it on the right side facing the wrong side of the corset. I'll sew using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So by the time I'm done sewing, cut off the excess, and then I'll turn it to the right side like I did for the back. I'll just do the same thing, and I'll do the same thing on the other side of the corset as well, the front corset, that is on the center and also on the other side. So by the time I'm done, this is what I have. So now I'm just going to be joining it to the back to the front, and what I did was I faced the wrong side together and I sewed on it. So by the time you're done sewing, you are going to be sewing facing the right side, and then you go ahead to cut the excess allowance. Please remember, you are sewing facing the right side, not the wrong side like we normally do. So after you're done with that, you're still going to get another piece of fabric that is about I did not say there. Anyway, another piece of fabric, and you join it to the side seam that we just created, and then you sew it to all the way down, and then you sew it again to secure it, forming the loop for the side loop for the corset. So make sure you always iron as you are sewing. Every step, iron it. So the next thing now is we are going to be creating the bra cup for this corset. So in order to do that, I've gotten a piece of fabric that is 12 by 12 inches long and wide. So I will just fold it into 4 like so, and then after folding it, I'm going to use my measuring tape, and I'll mark 5.5 inches or 6 inches depending on the size of your bust. You can go all the way to 7 inches depending on the size of your bust. So you mark all the way down to the other side like so. So you trace out the lines that we created, and you cut off the excess like so. So after cutting it off, you're going to open it, and this is what we have. We have just created a full circle. So we'll mark the middle point of the full circle, and at this one side we'll go down by 1.5 inches, and the other side will go down by 1.5 inches, and then you connect it like so. So after connecting, you're going to cut it off, and we have successfully drafted out the fabric that we are going to be using for the bra cup. So at this point now, you're going to sew it from one side to the end, but before that, just place it on another piece of fabric so that we can cut for the lining alongside the other busts. So you're going to go ahead and cut about 8 pieces of it. So you join 2 pieces together and sew. You join 2 pieces together facing the right side together, and so using 1/2 inch, and then you notch it, and by the time you open it up, this is what it should look like. So these 2 pieces that we have is for one bra cup. So one will be for the main fabric, and then the other one will be for the lining. We are going to place this piece of fabric on the bra cup like so. Make sure you open it up very well so that it lays flat on the bra cup, and then you pin it down. So you continue doing this. Open it up very well. You pin it all the way around it, and then you're going to take it to the sewing machine and you sew. So by the time you're done sewing round the bra cup, you're going to cut off the excess, leaving 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So after you leave the 1/2 inch, this is what it should look like. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side of the bra cup as well. And so this is what we have. So take note, the lines that the line for one bra cup is aligning to the line of the other bra cup. So I'm just going to take the lining for this bra cup, and I will face the right side together, and I will join it at the top part of the bra cup using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. So by the time you're done joining it using 1/2 inch, you turn it to the right side like so, and then you arrange it very well, and this is what you should have. So at this point, you can use a gum stay to secure the lining to the fabric, that is to the bra cup, so that by the time you're done sewing, it's well, and you have a clean finish. So just use a gum stay and iron it to the bra cup like so. So make sure you arrange it very well so that you have a clean finish. So by the time you're done arranging, you should have about 0.25 inch of the lining bulging out of the main bra cup like this, or you can make it can still be equal. So when you turn it to the right side, this is what it should look like. So if you turn it to the wrong side, you should have a clean finish, and even when you turn it to the right side, it should have a clean finish. We are trying as much as possible to have a very clean, transparent corset, whereby the main fabric is as clean as the lining. So I've done the same thing for the other side as well, and by the time you place it together, this is what we have. The lining of the line of the left bra cup aligns with the line for the right bra cup. So this is what we have. So now I'm just going to be joining the bra cup to the down part of the corset using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So I'm just going to be pinning it down first before I take it to the sewing machine to sew the remaining part of it. So you pin it all the way to the other end, and this is what you should have like this. I will do the same thing for the other side as well, and I'll sew it. So by the time you're done sewing, this is what we have. As you can see, it's it has a very clean finish. So for that 1/2 inch allowance, we can close it up with the bias just to make sure that we have a clean finish even at the wrong side of the fabric. So right now I'm just going to be attaching my boning to this corset. So the boning I am using is a plastic boning. So I'll just place it inside the hole that we created, and I'll do the same thing for every boning channel that we created. So when you are done fixing the boning, if it is longer than the boning channel, make sure you come out by 1 inch and cut off the excess. By the time you cut it off, you should have about 1 inch or 0.75 inches allowance there. That is, the boning should stop 0.75 inches away from the hemline, so that you can be able to close it with a bias tape like so. If the boning goes all the way to the hemline, it will be difficult for you. So make sure it's about 0.75 or 1 inch preferably away from the hemline. And this is basically all for this transparent corsets. With this, after you attach the bias, you are done. So the next thing is to attach the skin net to it. Thanks for watching. Bye.